My name is Jay Carroll. I've been working with the single plane for about 6 years. Tried it for 2 years on my own, had no success, and decided I'd go ahead and spend the money and get hands-on with the crew. Well, I'm an old paratrooper. I got a lot of parachute jumps under my belt and got a bad back as a result. And I was at the point where I was about ready to hang up golf because I just couldn't go out and play 36 and anything like that. I'm not old enough for just 9, so I figured I'd get back or get into the single plane and see if it would work, and it absolutely cured the back issue. I can go out and play 36 today. Well, I'd say loosen up on your pocketbook and make the investment. The value that I see with each and every of the Graves events, training, the staff, everything about the events has tremendous value. You look at the coaching options that they have right now. I'm an elite member. I can't use all of what they offer unless I was just fully retired and did nothing but focus on golf. So the value is there in every product they have, in every type of training. And what I see with the quality of instruction and the consistency and the passion for excellence, this is something that you see at Graves. And you might get it out of 1 or 2 individuals at different golf courses or systems of instruction, but you're not going to get the same thing if you go from guy A to guy B to guy C. You're going to get 3 different attempts at helping you fix your golf swing or develop a golf swing. And you can talk to any one of the half a dozen instructors that might be at a training event, and they're all going to tell you the very same thing. They work on the model, and that's what they try to project, and that's what they try to instill into people. I'd say if you just look at the features of the package, what you get with it for the cost of the elite membership, it's really a no-brainer. I mean, when you look at everything that's included in that 12-month program, it's really, again, it's great value, as with everything else that I've seen with Graves. If you're not familiar with the single plane, become familiar with it. Go to a 1-day orientation, go to a 3-day class, evaluate for yourself. Get these folks to put their hands on you and show you the model way to hit a golf ball. And in my mind, and from what I've observed, there's no better way to do it. If you're an old golfer and got bad habits and you need help, this is a place to start working on that. If you're a brand new golfer, I don't know why you wouldn't start right here.
I'm enjoying the game now. I want to play all the time, and you know, it's fun. I mean, golf now is fun for me. I look forward to playing. I look forward to practicing. I look forward to sending videos into the coaches, getting feedback, little tweaks, and just been a phenomenal experience. Love it. So my problem before I started the single plane swing was not one problem. It was many problems. I mean, it was just mainly inconsistency. You know, one day I would shoot, you know, a decent score. I may have broke 90 a couple of times, and that would have been a good day for me, but just super inconsistent. There would be days that I would hit some good shots, you know, maybe shoot a decent round, and then there'd be other days where I couldn't hit a ball. Like I would shank everything. The shanks were the big thing for me. Pushing the ball right, shanking the ball, you know, hitting the ball fat constantly. That was annoying, like to the point where my hand would hurt. So, you know, I just wasn't a really good golfer at all. And, you know, I put time into it. You know, I took lessons many a times, spent a lot of time at the range. You know, I would swing in my yard, you know, put two tees down in the yard and try to swing through them. Like I would work at it, and nothing was working. So what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, and, you know, expecting a change. So for me, I was like, hey, you know, I'm on the fence, but nothing else has been working, so I'm going to go on this side of the fence, Graves Golf Academy, and just make a decision. And when you make that decision, commit to it. You know, that's the biggest thing, is you have to commit to it. And if you commit to it, you're going to see results. I promise you, no doubt about it. If you follow what they teach you, you're going to see results. It's just a matter of time. So one thing I really love about the academies, it's not just about the swing, you know, the full swing. It's about the short game as well. There's a lot of information and content in there that's been really useful. You know, how to hit out of a bunker, how to chip, how to putt. All of these things are just super important for your game, and that's one of the main reasons why my handicap dropped so dramatically, is because I was able to go in there and learn how to, you know, learn how to chip and putt, learn how to read putts. You know, hazard or conditions where, you know, maybe you're in the rough, or again, bunker shots. Most people hate going in the bunkers. I enjoy it now because I know how to do it, and I get a good result when I'm in the bunker. Not that I try to go in the bunker, obviously, but when I'm in there, I'm not panicking. And so, again, information on the short game, just the, you know, everything's in there. But for me, the short game is something that there's just not a lot of information out there that is, you know, is very helpful. So I love it. I love going in there and working on my short game, being able to find whatever it is I need, and it's been super helpful. What surprised me the most inside of Graves Golf Academy is, you know, when I send a video into coaches, just the knowledge these guys have. I mean, they're able to see things that I'm like, oh man, I didn't even notice that. You know, in my swing mechanics or my grip. You know, early on there was a lot of things I was working on, but you know, now that I've got it down pretty good, still making little tweaks. You know, we're always working for perfection. And again, if pros are using coaches, you know, I'm going to use them. So the coaching is just second to none. I mean, it's so helpful, and they tell you, you know, make sure you send videos in. That was very surprising to me. Is like, you know, they're super adamant about making sure that you're getting helped. Like, they don't want you to be a part of it if you're not going to use it. And you know, that was kind of odd to me. You know, they're not just trying to take my money. They really, truly care and want me to get better. And they're, you know, sending your videos. They're not sending in enough videos, you know, are you practicing? And you know, just holding me accountable. And I just absolutely love that. It's awesome. So it's been about a year, I think maybe a little longer than a year, since I've, you know, been working with the single plane swing. Prior to, I, you know, may have broke 90 a few times. My handicap, if I had to have a handicap, it'd probably be, you know, somewhere around 20 maybe. My handicap's lowered to 7.1 as we speak. And I live in Pittsburgh, so it's not like I get to golf all year round. But again, I mean, it's just being able to learn every aspect of the swing. They're able to qualify the golf swing. You know, Todd knows, like he proves it through biomechanics. There's just so much knowledge and information on why the traditional golf swing is super hard to learn and why it doesn't work for most people, and why the single plane golf swing is simplified and will work for you if you just, you know, put what you're learning to use. Tim, with his short game knowledge, I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, it really is. Like, I've never seen so much information on the short game, and to be able to take that information, put it to work, and use it in my own game, and see that it actually does work. These guys are just geniuses. I mean, they really are. So, super blessed to be a part of this academy and have Tim and Todd Graves, you know, at the forefront of it. It's just they're just awesome people and super knowledgeable.
What is happiness? Happiness is achievement. What's the father of achievement? Motivation. What's the mother? Encouragement. The fine golf swing is truly achievement. Man may lie, cheat, and steal for gain. But he'll never gain the golf swing. To gain the golf swing, man must work. It's work without toil. For those of us who know and love it, golf is truly happiness.
Hey, welcome to tonight's program. I'm excited to be here to teach you about Moe Norman's magic formula. I'm Todd Graves with Graves Golf, and one of the things that I want you to understand about tonight's show is if you'll pay attention to what I'm going to discuss with you and the formula that I show, I'm going to transform the way you think about golf, and I can transform the way you play golf and increase something that I know is very important to you, which is consistency. But before I get into that, I kind of want to tell you a quick story about myself, why I'm here in front of you talking about Moe Norman and the single plane swing. And it's very similar to why you're here in tonight's program, is because you want to learn maybe a better or easier way to play golf. And this is exactly what Moe Norman, my mentor, taught me over 20 years ago about an easier way to play golf. And in doing so, taught me a formula that I'm going to teach you tonight about a way that for the rest of your life, I can transform the way you not only hit a golf ball, hit it longer, hit it straighter, hit it better, but most importantly, more consistently. Now, with that in mind, consistency, this is really what I want you to focus on as I go through this tonight, because as you know, that really is what you want. Yes, we all want to hit it longer and straighter, but if you don't do it consistently, the game is very difficult. So the number one thing we hear in everything we do at Graves Golf is to help you become more consistent. That means you hit more fairways, more greens, you are able to shoot lower scores because you're hitting the ball in play more often and you're having more fun playing the game of golf. That's what the goal of my program tonight is, and I want to talk to you about that. But first, before I do this, I want to ask a quick question to all of you that are out there. And now, is the chat open for everybody out there? Is there a chat open? So the chat is open, and so I can have some communication with you tonight. And one of the questions I want to ask you is this: what is consistency and where does it come from? And that's a question I have for you. Some of you might want to post something in the chat and kind of mention, you know, well, here's what consistency is and where does it come from, right? And I want to get into the kind of where does consistency come from, because this is really the goal of tonight's program, is to focus on how I'm going to lead you down a path to becoming much more consistent as a golfer and having more fun playing golf, because you're better when you're on the golf course. I'm going to actually write that on the board here. Consistency. Now, some of you may be posting stuff in the chat right now about where the consistency comes from. Does anybody have any comments? Does anybody have any comments in the chat on where it is? Where does consistency come from, right?
Repeatable swing.
Repeatable swing, okay, repeatable swing. Positions. Okay, anything else?
Yeah, that's all I've seen so far.
All right, good. So yes, consistency is going to come from having a repeatable golf swing. But how do we get there? Like, how do we get to consistency? And one of the things that I want to just kind of put up here is, let me show you where consistency happens. And it's at the moment of impact, right? Impact. Okay? This most important moment right here. You see, when I set up and I go to this moment of impact, if you look at my body position, you can see that there's a particular orientation of my body. You can see my lead arm is aligned with the club. You can see my trail arm is slightly bent. You can see the tilt of my body. You can see my lead knee being stable. So there are certain things. If you take a look at where I'm at here, you're seeing an impact position. And wouldn't you agree that if I want to be a consistent ball striker, that the most important thing I can do is achieve that moment, that exact perfect impact position more often, more consistently. If I can do that, I can get the ball to fly consistently where I want it to go. So we have to focus on this. We have to focus on impact. Now, I was at the Titleist Performance Center years ago, and I spent time with data. So we were measuring the data of golfers, and tour players, the best players in the world, were coming through there, but I didn't get to see the players. All I really got to see was the data. And the question was, could I look at a group of data and find the most consistent ball strikers? Who are the best players in this data? And the answer was still the same. It came down to whoever was the most consistently hitting the exact same position at impact, because they measured it by the speed of the ball coming off the face. So if you're getting consistent at impact, you get consistent ball speeds. Doesn't matter if you're hitting a wedge or an 8-iron or a 5-iron or a driver. If you're getting consistent speeds, the ball is going consistent height and distances, and it's going consistently on the same direction. So the goal is always, how can I help you get to the most important moment of impact? That's what this is all about, right? So that's what tonight's program is about, is me showing you a formula that works on a way that you, for the rest of your life, are developing a great golf swing, becoming more consistent. Now that we have a kind of focus here, so everything I'm going to teach you tonight, everything I teach you in tonight's program is about becoming more consistent at the most important moment of impact. So how do we do that, right? And so one of the things that I want you to see is we talk about the formula, and this is what I learned from Moe Norman when he mentored me in the golf swing. There was a process. And the other thing I want to show you is that if you're going to be more consistent, and this one will touch close to home when I go through this. If you want to be more consistent as a ball striker, doesn't it make sense that you have a consistent process that you're working towards on your golf swing? What I mean by that is, if you want to be a consistent golfer, wouldn't it make sense to have a consistent way to work on your golf swing or develop your golf swing? So I want to show you this a formula for consistency, and here it is. The first thing is address and grip. Okay, address and grip. Now, notice how I said this, address and grip. And this is a really good example of why we teach the way we teach here at Graves Golf. We're here to simplify the golf swing for you. But notice I didn't say grip and address. And the reason I didn't say grip and address is because when people grip the golf club, they forgot one very important thing about when they grip the club is the position of the body. Notice that when I'm at impact, the impact position is more than just your grip. The impact position is the position of the hands, but it's relative to the position of my body. Notice my body tilted. Notice my arm position. Notice my trail arm position. And then notice my hand position. So instead of saying grip and address, we say address and grip. We want you to position the body in a very similar place to where you're going to do what? Impact. So when we teach the address position, we teach the address position first, primary, and then how the hands are oriented on the club, and then you get into the single plane swing, because now we're putting you in the same exact plane. Look at the lead arm alignment. Look at the trail arm alignment. Those two alignments, lead arm alignment and trail arm alignment, are the same two alignments I'm going to have where? At impact. Notice everything I'm going to teach you tonight is about getting to impact. So we teach address, put the body in a similar position, then put your hands on the golf club, and then you're in a very similar position to where you're going to be at impact. So we're already, from the very first part of the formula, teaching you that you must get the body position, then the arm, and then the hand position, address, then grip, to make it simple to get to impact. Okay, keep that in mind, right? So that's the first part of the formula. Now, from the address and grip, the second part of the formula are the positions of your swing. All right, positions. Now, why are positions important? Well, and we have 6 positions, so 1 through 6, okay? Let me go through these positions with you really quickly. From the address and grip, because it relates. If I get address and grip right, I can start moving correctly. So from an address and grip, that's very similar to where you're going to impact, because I'm on the single plane, the impact plane. I now can I can naturally go to position 1. I can go to position 2. I can go to position 3. Impact 4, there's that impact position. Then 5, and then 6. Now, these are the positions that we look for in the swing, and we teach them in this order. But let me show you something about each one of these positions. Each position makes impact easier. So if I start with a proper address and grip, and I go to position 1, right, this helps me get the club to position 2. Look at position 2. That's the same plane, see the club plane, as I'm going to be at impact. So from position 1 to position 2, that helps me get to position 3 and then back to impact. Every position that we look for in the single plane swing is to help us get where? Impact, right? So I'm going to put that back up here. Impact. This is our goal. So from the very beginning, address and grip, to the positions, every position of the swing is to help you get to impact. Now, the next thing, after you've learned the positions in this formula, are sequence. Sequence is when you put positions together. So in other words, now that you understand that there's certain ideal positions of the body, all these positions we've talked about, you can now put those positions into motion and start sequencing those positions, and now you start having a golf swing. But here's the thing about it. If you don't have your address and grip in the right order, and don't have your positions correct, if you don't hit positions, you're not going to be able to sequence, right? So now, let's talk about sequence. And this is a big conversation that many of you that are involved with us, Graves Golf, and the single plane swing, this is where I get most of the comments made when I'm presenting this to students like yourself, is the stuff I'm going to teach you about sequence in this class may be the most important stuff you could ever hear from me teaching the golf swing, because I'm going to talk about what I call the breaks. Breaks. Here's what the breaks are. And again, before I get into this talking about sequencing and breaks, tonight's program that I'm teaching you, I'm going through the formula, and you need to hear this formula. And matter of fact, I just taught a school here today, and I went through this formula because I'm going to use this formula from this point forward to help you, and I need you to understand why this formula is so important, because it's exactly how you need to, from this point forward, continue to look at your swing and focus on your ability to, if you follow the formula, you'll improve beyond any of your wildest dreams. If you don't follow this formula, you're going to do something that's critically important that I see everybody seems to do out there. If you don't follow this formula, you're going to be guessing at what you do to get better. You're going to go play golf, you're going to go hit bad shots, you're going to start putting your hands in different places, body in different places, and pretty soon you don't know what you're doing. You're going to get confused. And that's what I'm trying to help you to never do again for the rest of your life, is avoid this confusion. And this is why people don't get better in the game of golf. This is why you may have not got better. It's why I didn't get better years ago. It's because I was looking for some quick tip and some weird, nuance to the swing, when if I would have had this formula, I would never had a problem for the rest of my life. So let's talk about sequencing and breaks. Breaks, here's what the breaks are in the golf swing. Now that I have the positions of the swing, right? Position 1, position 2, transition, position 3, position 4, position 5, and position 6. and I can move through the positions correctly. The next step is I got to add some motion to the body. Well, the only way the body can make motion, one part must stay still or put on the brakes as another part of the body moves. This is how sequencing occurs. I'll give you a couple quick examples. So notice in the backswing. Notice when I move into the backswing to position 1, or even if I go to position 2. You notice that there's lots of stuff moving, but look at my trail leg. It's not moving. It's staying still. I'm rotating around my trail leg. In other words, my leg has put the brakes on so the rest of my body can continue. And as I go back, my upper body is slowing down as my arms continue. So my upper body is putting the brakes on so my arms can continue. Notice my head. My head is staying still. It has its brakes on, right? It's not moving. If I move my head, then I can't move my upper body. So notice that anytime I make motion during the swing, that's the backswing. Or if I make a downswing, I got to stop this leg and I got to swing around it. It's putting the brakes on. So the brakes are learning how to stop the correct part of the body to then sequence the subsequent parts of the body. All right, does that make sense? If you're hearing this, put some yes in the chat. Say it makes sense, makes 100% sense. Because people miss this. If you don't have the brakes correct, which are positions, if I don't have the position of the lead leg correct, if I don't have this braking system correct, I can't accelerate. Okay, I can't sequence. And if you can't accelerate, guess what? Speed. You can't add speed. Okay? Okay. Now, you see my formula, right? Let's go through this really quickly because we want to get to speed. All of you want to get to speed. All of you want to get to speed. Matter of fact, I had a question this morning in our Single Plane Academy. The first question I woke up to, I go inside the Single Plane Academy every morning and I answer questions for some of you. And I went into Single Plane Academy and the first question the guy asked is, how do I get more speed? And our instructors had already popped in there and the answer was this: you better have your positions, because if you don't have your positions, you can't get the sequence. If you don't have the brakes in the sequence, you're not going to get speed. It goes just like this. All right, you see where I'm going with this? You must have the proper formula to get the most efficient golf swing that you can have. Just think about it. If your positions are out of position, there's no way to add speed to a golf club if it's not in a position to produce speed. If your body's not rotated, how do you produce rotational speed? If you don't have brakes, a braking system, how do you accelerate the rotation of the body? So you understand that this formula solves that. But here's the problem. Here's the thing. And I want you guys to be honest with me out there. All of you watching this, I want you to be 100% honest with me. And I want you to think about this for a second. Take a minute and think about this. How did you learn to play golf? How did you learn it? Think about it. Okay, and if you're in there going, well, I guarantee you did this. I guarantee it, you learned it exactly backwards, because here's what you did. You grabbed somebody's golf club, maybe in a hand-me-down club, you found a club, somebody gave one to you, and you tried to produce speed first. You went right out and started swinging away, right? That's what I did. And that's what everybody in this room did, right? Everybody here in the studio, when they first played golf, they started swinging away. They started sequencing and adding speed before they had anything right? So here you are. You start in the very worst part of the formula. You start trying to add speed to something that you don't have. You don't have the positions right. You don't have your hand position right. You don't have your body position right. You don't have the sequencing right. You don't have your feet in the right spot. You don't have nothing's there. And we learn backwards. And guess what? We get pretty frustrated, right? Because it's hard. And that little ball is sitting still, and we don't know how to position, we don't know how to move. No one in any other, whether it's a sport or any other thing, has learned this way. Think about it for a second. If I was going to teach you how to play the piano, how would you do it? Would you start playing music? Put your hands on the piano and start playing? No way. I mean, it's going to sound terrible, right? What do? You learn where to place your hands. How do I put my hands on the keyboard? How do I put my hands in the right places? How do I put my hands in the positions for the chords and the notes? How do I then sequence those chords and notes? And guess what? When I put that into speed, it has music, right? How about learning to dance? If you're going to learn to dance, you didn't learn by dancing. You learned to basically, where do I position my body? Where do I position my feet? One step at a time, then the second step. Then when you put those steps together, you're dancing. So this is a perfect, if I go in the correct order here, you now have a perfect formula for learning the most efficient, perfect way to play golf. And this is what you've been missing. This is exactly what you've been missing. If you're here for the first time, if you're seeing me present this for the first time, if you're new to the single plane swing, not only am I presenting to you the easiest swing in golf that gets to impact the most efficient way, I'm now teaching you a formula to get there. It's a perfect formula. There will be no better formula. When I'm 94 years old and I'm sitting in here still teaching this, this will be what I'm teaching. This is how your brain wants to learn it. This is based in science. This is a scientific formula for training your brain how to learn the swing. Now, if you're thinking, well, Todd, can you teach an old dog new tricks? Can somebody that's been swinging golf for a long time learn something new? Watch this. It's very simple. I don't care how long you've been playing the game. I don't care if you've been doing it your entire life or you're brand new to this thing. The first thing I'm going to do is check out your address and grip. We're going to put you in an ideal address and grip for impact, right? All of you can do that. There's not one person that's watching this program right now that I can't give you a perfect address and grip if you're right here right now, okay? The second thing is I'm going to make you go through the positions of the swing, right? If you can, and one by one, just like I did it, I'm going to make you do this. Once you get your address and grip, I'm going to go position 1, position 2, position 3. And if you have trouble with one of those positions, you're going to learn where to go. You're going to put yourself there and you're going to hold it. And then you're going to hold it. Then you're going to hold it. You're going to put your body in the positions, one position at a time, just like you're playing the piano, just like you're learning dance steps. How many of you have ever done that before? I mean, in your chat, raise your hand. How many of you have actually worked on your golf swing position by positions? First of all, I've barely seen anybody who hasn't worked with me or the team here or seen my formula ever does it this way. Most people just keep trying to swing, they get a tip and they try something and you're not learning anything new because your pattern, you're not interrupting the pattern long enough with a position to change. If you really want to make change, you've got to go through a process of making the change. You've got to change your positions. Then, after you've learned the positions, not hard to do, every one of you can do that, I start sequencing you and getting you to eliminate some of the positions and put the braking system on, and now you're making some motion with your new positions, and then I give you acceleration at the very end. We get some speed. I wouldn't give you speed until you can do the positions. And let me tell you this. If you cannot hit the positions in slow motion, position by position, you will not be able to hit them in full sequence and speed. I guarantee that. And you won't be able to ever change your golf swing. Now, by the way, if you've seen me on YouTube, some of you may have seen me on YouTube, or you may be seeing me on YouTube now, I teach on YouTube all the time. I put videos out there about interesting subjects. I love communicating on YouTube, and I love the creativity of YouTube. But I'll tell you right now that YouTube is the worst place to get instruction from me. And it's because it's out of context. I talk about this stuff all the time, but you need to make sure that if you're going to learn from me, that you're following my formula all the way, all the time. This formula is fundamental to getting this right. And now look at this. I use this formula that I learned from Moe. This is exactly how I practice every single time I practice. And it's very simple. Every time I practice, I check my address and grip. I look at my positions. I might take a quick video of my swing to look at my positions. I then check out my transition and sequence, make sure my positions of my legs are good while I'm accelerating, then I add speed. So I'm always using this no matter where I am in my game, whether I'm playing a lot of golf or not. This is my formula for teaching you, for teaching myself, for developing my swing, for practicing, and for staying in what I call golf shape, staying in process. I stay in this process. How many of you in the chat right now, raise your hand in the chat, say yes, or whatever you want to say in there, say this makes so much sense. Like this formula just makes so much sense. How many are in there talking? So it makes sense, right? This is common sense. This is nothing. This is basically how everybody should learn a skill. But here's what I want to do. I've built a program because this formula that I've been using for almost 20 years now, I put into a formula in a program because my team came to me and said, Todd, I want you to teach this formula to the world so they can learn it. And this is the challenge, right? How do they learn this in an online class, remote class, wherever we are in the world? How can you teach somebody effectively this formula, right? And I put together, and they said, Todd, can you do it in 7 days? I said, no, you can't do it in 7 days. Not enough time. Can you do it in 14 days? Not enough time. 21 days? Maybe. Give me 30 days. I said, anybody out there in the world can take 30 days and learn something. If they do it every single day, just a little bit every day, not 3 hours a day, not 2 hours a day, 20 minutes a day. Because I knew that most people wouldn't spend more than 20 to maybe 45 minutes a day wanting to really work on new positions of their swing. So I said, give me 20 minutes a day for 30 days and I can teach anybody in the world the single plane swing. So I put together a program called Single Plane 30. This is a 30-day, we call it progressive training formula. And here's exactly what we do in Single Plane 30. You're gonna love this. This is the way we're gonna transform you in 30 days. 30 days, not a year, not 2 years. In 30 days, you can transform your motion. Because in the very first week, guess what we're going to work on? The foundation, the address and grip. This is week 1 of the 30-day training. But here's what's important about week 1, is that you basically are going to be giving a module, delivered a module, and you must train that module, right? So if you look at this example on the screen, you'll see a training module here. And so the training module is delivered to you and you just perform the training module. So I give you instruction every single day and I'm not letting you get ahead of it either, right? So week 1 is address and grip. Week 2, key positions, right? It's the next thing in the formula. Now that you know the address and grip and you've practiced it enough, because one of the things that you're gonna need is repetition. Reps, right? You can't just do it one time and get it right. So in this program, we're delivering it to you in a daily module where we give you repetitions, enough repetitions to learn it. So that's what week 2 is about, position training. In week 3, guess what? Sequencing. We now teach you to sequence. And we don't let you get ahead of this. You don't get to learn sequence before you learn positions, because I want to make sure that everything is in the perfect place, in the right formula, before you learn how to start putting the braking system in. Because when I start teaching the braking system, you will love the braking system. If you haven't seen what we do to teach the braking system in this is where it all starts coming together. When you learn the address and grip in week 1, and you learn the key positions in week 2, you learn the braking system in week 3, and you start sequencing, and then at week 4 we add speed. We start adding speed. Now, before I get too far into this, I want to discuss something. So, very important when you do this, and this may be the most important part of the program, is 2 things. Number 1, I coach the program throughout the month. So you get me and a couple other coaches here at Graves Golf. We're with you sometimes 4 to 8 times a month, live sessions with you, coaching you. And the goal is to keep you accountable. That daily module you get is to keep you accountable to the training. We don't let you get too far ahead, and then everybody starts in the program on the exact same day. So in other words, if you join this program in Single Plane 30, we're all in it together for this entire month. I get to coach you for this month. That means we're all going through it together. We're asking the same questions. We're relating to us. I'm coaching you. The coaches are coaching you. So we're guiding you through this. This is the best part of the program, to keep you accountable to the training. In other words, you're not working on your speed and somebody else is working on their address. We're going through this to get it right. Because if you get it right, you'll be shocked at how good you can become in 30 days. So we give you the coaching support that you're going to need throughout the program. And I coach you through this. I'm on doing live Zooms with you 4 times a month, and the coaches are on with you another 4 times. Sometimes I hop in there more, but I'm with you the entire month coaching you through the program. All right? Now, there's one other thing I've got to show you as you go through this. The way you practice this while you're in the program is critically important. Notice on the ground in front of me, you see my alignment and ball position trainer. This is a feedback tool. When you're practicing the positions of the swing, of course, I want you to get your foot position right. I want you to get your ball position right. Now, you're not hitting a bunch of golf balls, but I still want you to have a reference for the ball. So I want you to, when you practice, if you're going to be consistent, don't we want to get the feet position, the ball position consistent? All right, just saying that. So I have a training tool here to get you more consistent. Now, I'm holding the Feeling of Greatness Training Club. This has a grip on it that helps us get the hand position consistent with our body position. It actually teaches us the tilt and body position as well. So I get body position and tilt, hand position, and foot position, right? And I also have the single plane trainer, which teaches us the positions of the swing. I'll go through those really quickly. You'll notice that the single plane trainer, it's attached to my lead side and it stays connected to position 1. I can put it on plane, position 2. I maintain the leverage in position 3. I return to impact 4. This teaches you swing plane. Now, these are training tools we love for you to have during the program. But here's the great thing about this program. And just before I put the price up here, I got to tell you something about this. I just signed up for a 90-day training program that costs, in this, a coaching program. I like to coach myself. I challenge myself. Every 90 days, I sign up for, I learn something new. This particular program, I'm learning something about business. So it's a business coaching program. The reason I'm telling you that is I paid over $10,000 for 90 days of coaching in this program. And my 30-day program delivers more than this program, right? So I didn't want to create, look, this program to me is worth $10,000 because if you learn this, what's it worth for you to learn a perfect golf swing for the rest of your life? What's that worth to you, right? That's my question, right? 10,000, 20,000, 100,000. Just think if you played the best golf of your life, what's that worth to you? Finally, I mean, you may be somebody that struggled like me for your entire life and struggled like crazy. It'd be worth a lot. Well, I didn't want to create a program that cost $10,000. I wanted everybody in the world to have access to this program. Everybody in the world. Now, the 30-day training program is basically a $649 value. The daily accountability is a $349 value. And the live coaching support, me being on there with you 4 times a month with the other coaches, is over a $1,000 value. But we're going to give you the entire program for $297. $300, that's it. Hard to believe, but that's what we're doing. This is what I love to do. I love teaching this program. I love seeing you with me every single week, going through the training, asking the questions about the training. I love it. But I got more for you than that. Because after the 30 days, guess what? You're going to want to go to the course and play your best golf. I'm going to give you another course with this, which is my Take It to the Course Masterclass, which is a $497 value, right? I'm going to give this to you. And here's what that course consists of. If you just want to take this course, this would be worth it all by itself. But for this course, what I do here is I give you, now that you have a great swing, I want you to have a great pre-round routine, what you do before your round, a great pre-shot routine. How do you use your new swing to hit a golf shot? You have in-between shot routines. What are you doing in between your shots? And then a post-round routine. I'm going to teach you 4 critical routines to take your new single plane swing you learned in single plane 30 to the course. All right, I'm going to give you that, right? Same price, $297. But I got another better bonus for you. I'm going to give you a personalized coaching call, which we call a blueprint call, where we define your goals. I like working every 90 days. I want to define your goals for 90 days. I want to help you organize a strategy, and I want to help you build a plan. So I'm going to give you that as well, right? That's a pretty good bonus. Taking our coach's time, you use it at least $400 to $500 an hour. But here's the kicker for this. These training aids that we charge over $300 for the training aids, I'm going to give you a 50% discount on these training aids. All right, 50% discount, basically half off these training aids. But hang on a second. That includes a training club, that includes the alignment ball position trainer, and the single plane trainer. Then I'm going to give you a $150 gift card to cover the part that I didn't give you off, right? Think about that for a second. I'm basically giving you these aids. If you don't have them, you're getting them for the cost of shipping. So for $297, this is everything you're getting. Single plane 30 program, the Take It to the Course Masterclass, the personalized blueprint call, the 50% discount on the training aids, and the training aid gift certificate. The total value of that is over $3,000, and I'm giving it to you for $297 because I want everybody in the world to be able to afford this program because I want to coach you. I don't care if you're in Australia, the UK, you're down the street. If you're not coming to the Graves Golf Performance Center here in Edmond, Oklahoma, which not very many people will come here, right? You can't make it here. You may be saying, Todd, how do I get instruction from your academy? I can't make it to Oklahoma. You don't have to. I'm going to coach you right here for $300 in single plane 30. This $300, you would have spent 3 times that much on an airplane ticket here, right? You'd spend 3 times that much on a hotel here. And I'm teaching you the exact same thing I'd teach you when you got here, right here in Single Plane 30, in 30 days. And you're gonna love it, because here's the thing. You can train in your house. You don't have to go to the golf course. I built this program so you can train from the comfort of your home. Hey, if you're watching a football game on Saturday, you can be working on a position. So here we go. I can work on my address and grip. I can work on my backswing hold. I can watch TV a little bit if I want to, but I can feel that, because here's what matters about this program. And the coaches they're over here looking at me because they're saying, Todd, you got to say it. Here's what I want you to stop doing in your life. And this is, my coaches will start laughing. They may laugh out loud. He's clapping. I want you to stop collecting information. Like, I want you to stop going to my YouTube channel, watching a video and going, that's nice, great stuff, Todd. I like you being there. I love teaching you. But you need to start doing the information. Stop collecting it, start doing it. This is a doing program. I deliver the module to you every day and you do it that day, right? And then you wait for the next day and you do the module, and it's progressive. It progresses you through the exact formula for improvement in 30 days. Now here's my guarantee for you. Not only am I giving you all the training aids and you're getting everything, you're getting thousands of dollars of value in this for only $300. I'm giving it all to you. I'll give you 100% of your money back if you don't love the program, 100%. So if you go 30 days to the program, you're like, Todd, it wasn't for me, and you did all the modules and you said it didn't work for you, I'll give you 100% of your money back. So now you can't lose, right? I can't make it any better than that, right? All right, do we have any questions popping in? Okay, we got some questions coming in. I want to take a few questions, we'll go through those. So Todd, what is the hardest change for you coming from a conventional swing? This is a great question. Matter of fact, I was a conventional golfer until I met Moe, obviously, in 1994, so it's been a while, right? What was the hardest change? To me, the hardest change, look, I didn't have this process, right? I didn't have this process. I had to figure out this myself, and then Moe coached me through it. Was Moe the greatest coach in the world? He was a great demonstrator, and he told me things to do. This formula was derived from the things he was telling me about what should I start with, what should go next, what should go next. Moe would talk about holding positions. So the hardest part for me was probably not having a guide for me. I didn't have somebody giving me direct response and knowing exactly what to do. Moe would coach me through lots of feelings, but I wouldn't say he was showing me exactly what to do. I didn't have somebody showing me exactly what to do. If I would have had that, it would have been magical, right? It would have saved me so much time. Guys, I'm here to save you time. And then if you said, Todd, what technically was the hardest thing for you, like in your motion, my one thing was my lead hand grip. I had to, once I solved my lead hand grip issue and I figured it out, I was in a totally different golfer. So that was a technical thing that I had to work myself through. But I didn't have the formula and I didn't have a way of knowing exactly how to learn it. If I would have had that, it would have sped up my process. I would have gotten better so much faster. That's really the goal here, is to speed up the learning for you. Next question. What if I can't do the training every day? That's a great question. Can't do the training every day. You can always catch up. So look, you can do 2 trainings in one day. That is not hard to do. These are not hard trainings. It's 20 minutes. You just have to go back and do the one training maybe in the morning and one training in the evening. You can catch up really fast. Even if you miss a couple of days, the modules get delivered to you and they're inside the academy. You click the module, you watch it. It's opened up for you. If you miss it, you can go back and open up that module and retrain it for that day. So no big deal if you miss a day. But here's the thing, please, don't miss a week, right? Don't miss a week. Just if you miss a day, you're fine. Miss 2 days, you're fine. Just don't miss a week because you'll get a little bit behind. Here's a question from YouTube. Todd, I'm new to the single plane swing. I'm loving it so far. Enjoy your videos and instruction. I have an issue of some of my shots are leaking to the left. My old swing was a hook, right hand swing. So again, let's answer this question, right? Let's answer this question with my formula, because I love doing this. Any question, there's not a question you can pose on a golf swing related question that you can pose that I can't answer with my formula. So he says he's hooking it. Well, here's what I would do. You're hooking the ball, or you're slicing the ball, or you're hitting it fat, whatever. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look at your address and grip, right? What I teach you, week 1, address and grip. Let me show you something about your grip. And this is for you that need to understand why we teach what we teach. What's the goal? Impact, right? Impact. Well, at impact, we want a square face. We want a square club face, right? So if you look at my address position, and you look at my, and look, I'm going to teach you something that I teach throughout the program. I'm going to give you a little piece of it tonight. So I'm in my address position, and notice my lead arm. This is called flexion. Because I'm tilted, my arm easily goes in front of my body, right? That's where my arm is at impact. It's in front of my body, right? So my arm's in flexion, that's where I am at impact. So I want my lead arm in flexion. But what's important about the lead arm is not only am I tilted and in flexion, is that when I'm coming down, I can, look at that, that's max range of my hand, gets my back of the hand to the target. Now you're probably saying, Todd, why are you telling me this? Notice how the back of the hand, because I'm tilted and my arm's in flexion, can only go that far. That's the max amount I can move my hand. Watch this. If I get the proper address, tilt, proper flexion of the arm, my hand, I put it in that position to start with. So now when I swing, it can only go to square, right? So because of my address, because of my flexion, my arm position, and then my hand position being not primary but third to that equation, I now have a hand that can't close the face. So now you can't hook it anymore. That's found right here, right? Now, that's what you learned in single point 30. But let's say that wasn't it. Let's say you have a perfect address and grip position. Then I come down here and go, well, it must be a position in your swing. So now maybe in your downswing you're coming out of your tilt and that's causing a closed face. Whatever it is, we'll find it in your positions. If it's not in your positions, then it's going to be here in your sequence. Notice, though, how I'm deducing your problem. I'm not saying, well, just open the face. Stop it going left. That might not be why, and that's going to mess up the entire process. I've got to go in my order. The order solves it all the time, right? The order solves it all. Next question. How do I feel? How do I feel the breaks from Ray? That's a great question. The question is, how do you feel anything? Right? And you feel by doing, right? If I put you in the correct positions and I say, okay, Ray, I want you to keep your trail leg still, and I want you to brace that leg and you want you to feel it inside the heel of your leg, you can then feel where that leg is stopping. When you come down and this lead knee is slightly flexed, I want you to keep it flexed all the way through and you feel the leg staying in position. Then you feel the lead leg. The braking system are simply positions of your body that are holding themselves still, and you'll feel yourself holding it still. The other thing too, I recommend all the time is using the training aids, because now you're practicing correctly and now you're doing the training. When you do the training, you're getting new feelings. That's how you do it. So the question is, how do you learn new feelings? And you do it by hitting new positions. That's what it all comes down to. Again, write my formula. Right? Just train correctly. That's how you feel it. Next question here. At address, how far is the club head behind the ball with a sand wedge, 7-iron driver, Brian? Let me just do a 6-iron and I'll show you this. I'll start here. It has everything to do, look, the ball position, if you use alignment ball position training, look, you're going to get this alignment ball position training when you sign up for single point 30. By the way, did you put the link up there for single point 30? For signing up, so they got it? Okay. Is it at the enroll thing down there? Yeah. Okay. I couldn't see it down there in the corner. gravesgolf.com/enroll. Yeah. So, well, I want you to see the link to this if you're going to go sign up for single point 30, because these training aids, the question that was just asked was, well, how far is the club placed behind the ball? And I'm going to demonstrate that with this alignment ball position trainer, because what you're going to see me do here is this alignment ball position trainer tells me where the ball position is, right here. And then the lead foot's in place and my trail foot's in place. This is a 6-iron. And notice the club, when I put my alignments, my single plane alignment, notice the club is a few inches behind the ball, but notice how it's beneath my nose. Notice how the club is beneath my nose. All right, so that's what I want you to pay attention to. Don't worry about the ball right now. Just look at where the club is and look at where my head position is. Okay, that's a 6-iron. Now, let me grab a pitching wedge, okay? With this pitching wedge, my stance is more narrow, right? So when I grab this wedge, look at my stance. And now look, the club is closer to the ball, but it's still beneath my nose, right? And it almost looks like the ball is more in the center, but the ball is still in the exact same spot. That was a 6 iron, this is a wedge. So now, because I'm not as wide, the club is still in the same spot, just not as far behind the ball. Let me grab a 3-wood. So here's a 3-wood. And now the ball position, right, is more forward. And watch this. So I'm going to take my wide stance because I got a long club in my hand now. I'm going to put the club head beneath my nose. And look, I got the club is further behind the ball. But look, it's still beneath my nose. So the club head to my body and my head is still the same. It never changes. It's just simply my stance width changes. Always have the same club head position. And what happens is when your stance widens, the club goes a little further from the ball or closer. But it's the same swing, every single one. You're not changing that distance at all. It's all the same. Very consistent, right? From Eric, here we go. Eric, just finished my 2nd time through single weight 30, and I finally worked the program, so I am consistently hitting the golf ball. Great contact. SP30 works. Todd is telling the absolute truth, and yes, do the reps. I've seen Eric the last couple of months inside single point 30. Thank you for commenting on that, Eric. It takes discipline. It takes accountability. That's what this program is built around. And Eric's been in there. He's been in the Zoom calls. He's been asking questions. He's been going through the program. He's been doing the reps. And now he's starting to be more consistent. We're getting rave reviews on the program, by the way. We have people telling us all the time they've never played better. We've had people shoot their lowest scores. We've had people shoot their personal records on the golf course. We've had hole-in-ones, shoot their age. We've had it all happen. But here's the thing. We started the program in January. We've only been doing it now for this will be our 10th month in October, right? So for the October program, but here's the kicker about October. I only take 200 people in the program. We can't handle more than that. If you guys want to join the program, gravesgolf.com/enroll. You need to enroll in the program. This thing will fill up so fast. These programs are starting to fill up literally in just a couple of days. I don't know how much time you guys will have to get in this program. We're going to be marketing this for the next week or so, but we're going to get to 200 people pretty quickly. Also, the training aids, if you want to get the training aids, you got to enroll tonight. Get in tonight if you want the training aids. I don't know how many people we have on the program tonight, but I know we have over 200 on the program. Yeah, so I don't know if everybody tonight's going to sign up. Some of you guys have been through it already. If you've already been through the program already, you get a discount, so don't forget that. If you want to go through the program again, many guys are going through it multiple times, like Eric went through his 2nd, maybe his 3rd time. We give you a discount, so make sure you just contact us. We'll give you the discounted rate to get in next month, right? But you got to get in because we only take 200 people. Next question, what is the key to transition? Is it a conscious thought or hitting positions? Good question, transition, right? So let me tell you what transition is first. Transition is when you change directions from backswing to downswing. So changing directions. So in other words, when I sequence and I put the proper brakes on in the backswing, then I can use that to change directions. What I mean by that is when I go to the top of my swing, before I get to the top, notice the brakes are on my trail leg. Look at my trail leg. It's not moving, right? It's not shifting. It's not straightening. It's staying there so I can move around that trail leg. Well, now, because that leg is still, I can push. I can push with the trail leg because of the way I've used it. I've created a brace with it. I can use it to push my hips. So now that I get the proper backswing, I can then push with my hips because of my backswing position. That allows me to transition because sequence is lower body moving before upper body, right? That's the sequence. Well, that comes from positions. Anybody who I see have trouble with transition is having trouble with their backswing stability. I'm gonna say it again. If you're struggling with your transition, you have improper backswing stability. So in other words, your position 2 is not very good, so you can't change directions with lower body. You're out of position and your body can't move first because you're out of position. Again, it's found in my formula and it's trained inside single plane 30. Oh, from Terry, good question, Terry. Can we use our existing clubs? Yes, you can. If you want to use the training club, we're basically giving this to you. You can use it, but you can use your clubs. In the training for the single weight 30, all you need is really a 6 or a 7 iron. You don't need more than that. You can learn this entire process and single plane 30 program with a 6 or a 7 iron. Yours or the one you get from us, either one. Next question. What should the head do between position 2, top of the swing, and impact? The head of your body? Pretty simple. Head position, I go to the top. Notice how the head's a stabilizer. I don't want the head moving around in the backswing. So I'm moving into a backswing rotation. And then you're going to, did he say 2 to impact? Yeah, 2 to impact. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to transition. The head should stay pretty much still and then come down to impact. You may see a little bit of motion forward to the head, but you don't want it to move very far forward and then come back down. You want that stabilizing move and then come back down. So I look for the head to pretty much stay still. What you don't want it to do is you don't want it going backwards and you don't want it going forward. You want it to pretty much stay in its area. It's stabilizing the upper body, so you want it to stay in its area as you come back down. So you want to keep it pretty still from 2 to impact. Next question. Can you still do this swing and leaning position if your back is fused from pelvis to neck? Can you still do the swing and maybe learn positions if your back is fused from pelvis to neck?
Probably referring to side bend.
Oh, lean. I got it. Lean, side bend. Got it. So I'm not sure about how much your body is fused, but here's the thing about the spine that we've learned is that the spine isn't really bending that much. It's really a little bit in the pelvis, and that'll help you tilt the body. So the side bend is not a big deal. Fusion tends to affect rotation a little bit, but look at this for a second. I want to show you how much rotation. If you take somebody's spine, right, there's not a lot of rotation in the spine. Most of the movement happens in the arms and shoulders, and we have to get the pelvis moving a little bit. So what we've seen with people with fused parts of their body and fused parts of their spine is that we must get some pelvis movement. So the pelvis movement will help the torso movement, and we must get the proper arm and shoulder movement, right? So those are things we look for if you're not able to really get a ton of movement of your spine. But we've taught people with back injuries, spinal fusions, upper and lower spine. We've seen it all basically, and there's ways to get the club in the proper position. We have to see it a little bit, but it's easy to do if you know what you're doing. Follow the formula, it'll really help. Next question. Todd, please stop at position 1, then slowly to position 2. I'm missing something in the backswing from Brian B. Okay, so here we are at address and grip, position 1. Now I'm going to go to position 2 slowly. Do it again. Okay, hope that helped. Next question. From Jason Swank from YouTube. Do I need the training aids before I can start the training? Is there time to get ordered and delivered? 100%. Scott, when's the program start?
October 7th.
So the next program starts October 7th. So between now and October 7th, we can get the training aids to you. It's plenty of time to get them to you. If you order them the last minute, it only takes a couple of days to get the aids to you. You maybe miss 1 or 2 days. But if you get in the program now, 100% we'll get those training aids to you. And it's a great question because I would love for you guys to all get in the program in the next 3 or 4 days or right now, get right in the program so I can get all this stuff to you, right? So you're ready to go and ready to start. Plus there's we have some pre-videos in the program I want you to see that before you start the program, how to use the training aids. There's some things that we teach prior to the program that I want you to see. So great question. I appreciate that question. And I hope that you guys join the program so I can get this stuff to you.
Okay, so unannounced question from YouTube. How do you think Mo would feel about you losing your belly?
How would Mo feel about me losing my belly? Ooh, he'd be like, ooh, how'd you do it? How'd you do it? One time Mo said to me, he said he was gaining some weight, and I asked him, I said, Mo, you got to lose some weight. And he said, I'm going to stop drinking water. I said, no, Mo, that's not a good idea. Don't stop drinking water to lose weight. But I think he'd be like, why are you so skinny? Why are you so skinny? Okay, so here we go again. So here is the program for you. And guys, I love this program. I love coaching you every month in it. I hope you have a chance to get in it. Single plane 30, obviously it's a $2,000 value. You get the fast action bonuses, the training aids, plus the master class that I'm delivering to you, and all the bonuses you get with that. It's another $1,067 value. You got me as your coach, which obviously I like spending time with you, but that's a $2,500 value. Over almost $5,500 worth of value you get for $297. Again, my way of saying thank you for being a part of Graves Golf and me helping you learn the formula that will change your life if you do it correctly. Plus, obviously, money back guarantee if you don't love the program. So gravesgolf.com/enroll. Getting that program for the month of October. I can't wait to coach you through the entire month. Any more questions?
Yeah, let's go back.
All right, got a couple more questions.
One more question.
One more question, then we'll wrap. And as we're doing this, guys, enroll in the program. I want you guys signing up for the program tonight. I want to get as many people in there as I can because I don't want to see you miss out. Obviously, if you're on an email list, you'll probably hear about this, but once we get to 200, we're closing the program down. We only take 200. Is this swing easier on the back and avoiding back issues? Steve, that's a great question. Thanks for asking that. Is this swing easier on the back? Let me show you why this swing is easier on the back. First, understand what causes back pain. Most people think back pain is caused from the golf swing, from this upward movement of the body, right? So basically, you're starting here and you're lifting the body up. So that's part of it, but that's not the whole equation. The real problem with back pain is when you do two things. You not only move the body up, you also rotate it, right? So upward and rotation. Well, the beautiful thing about the single plane swing is we're not eliminating rotation, we eliminate the upward part. So now, and what happens is when you move the body up and you rotate, you get shear. Shear is when you put stress and rotate something. It's called shear. Well, we eliminate shear with a single plane swing, and we do that because we no longer have the upward motion. We have the rotation because you need rotation. We got to have speed. Rotational speed is mandatory, but we can eliminate the upward motion. Here's how we do it. Through our positions, right, as we go into impact, you'll see us deliver the club with a slightly bent lead knee, which is what we call one of our braking systems. This is stopping the lead. You got to stop this part of the body to accelerate. But I bend the knee. I stabilize the knee bent. And what that does is it lowers my body when I deliver the club. When I lower my body, I no longer have the upward motion. I no longer have the compression, which eliminates the shear. Now, I didn't want to get too complicated on that, but because I'm going down into the knee and then rotating, I no longer have the upward push. I no longer have the problem in my back, right? Beautiful thing about the single plane swing. Thanks for asking that question. We good? So guys, I'm looking forward to coaching you in October. Thanks for joining me tonight. gravesgolf.com/enroll. If you have any questions, please email us, scottar@gravesgolf.com. We'll answer any questions. If you would like to re-enroll, if you already enrolled in last month's program and you want the discount, scottar@gravesgolf.com. And I got 200 spots open for you. Hopefully most of them are filling up tonight. Jump in there, get all the training aids. Cheap program, $297. Can't wait to coach you. Thanks for joining me. See you in the next program.
What is happiness? Happiness is achievement. What's the father of achievement? Motivation. What's the mother? Encouragement. The fine golf swing is truly achievement. Man may lie, cheat, and steal for gain. But he'll never gain the golf swing. To gain the golf swing, man must work. It's work without toil. For those of us who know and love it, golf is truly happiness.